welcome back to Simply Saffron by Pooja Seal. I'm Pooja, and today I'm going to show you a cake recipe which is very special to us because usually I bake this during our birthdays, and we had our birthday last week. We mean my husband and me. So we both had our birthday last week but didn't have the time to bake a cake, so I'm doing it this week. And so I thought, why not share with you, because it's a very nice cake with a brownie layer in the bottom, with a chocolate mousse on top of that, and then a raspberry mousse, and it's like a triple mousse cake. So it's very fancy looking, but not much of hassle to make it. So let me show you how. So we'll start with the brownie layer first, but before we start anything, we are going to turn the oven on at 350 Fahrenheit. To start with the dry ingredients, so I have half a cup of all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoonful of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoonful of salt, 1/3 cup of normal cocoa, and I have added 2 tablespoons of Dutch cocoa, dark cocoa. Like if you have it, that's fine. If you don't, just add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. So we are going to mix them all together, and then we are going to keep it aside. So to start with the wet ingredients, first we are going to add half a cup of melted butter. You can use oil too, but I like the taste of the butter, so that's what I'm using. Then in this we are going to add half a cup of sugar. I'm using brown sugar, but if you don't have brown sugar, normal sugar works too. And in this we are going to add about 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now with the hand mixer, I'm going to beat all of them together. So now we are going to add 1 egg at a time, and we'll beat very lightly, just everything gets mixed up. That's about it. Since this is a brownie, not a cake, so you don't want to incorporate a lot of air into it, so we're going to add the second egg. Now we are going to add the dry ingredients into the egg mixture. This is a very basic brownie recipe. It doesn't need any chocolate or anything, just cocoa powder works. So we are going to again mix it for just a minute or so, just enough to mix everything all together. And it's done. The mixture is done. We'll just scrape the sides. So it's done. Now we are going to put it. We'll add the batter to the cake pan. It's already greased, and then I have added a little bit of, dusted it with some flour. So it is well spread. So this will go in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. And I forgot to tell you before that this is a 9-inch pan, so we are going to do a 9-inch cake. Now since the brownie has cooled, so I'm going to show you how to do the chocolate mousse layer. So let's show you how. To start the chocolate mousse, I have 1/2 cup of chocolate chips here. These are semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use the dark chocolate chips too. And I have about 3/4 cup of cream, heavy whipping cream, and I have heated in just to the point of boiling. And this I'm going to add to the chocolate chips, and we'll keep it for a few minutes till the chocolate chip melts, and we'll wait till it cools down. Then I'll show you what to do with the gelatin. So I have the gelatin here. So this is about 2 teaspoonful of gelatin, and this is 2 tablespoons of water. So I'm going to add the water to the gelatin and let it bloom. Once it has bloomed and the chocolate has cooled a little bit, and we are going to heat this gelatin, melt it, and then add it to the chocolate mixture. So we have the gelatin here. So I'm going to warm it up for 15 seconds in the microwave until it melts. So we are going to add this to the chocolate mixture. So we are going to add this to the chocolate mixture. Now we'll let it cool for about like till it reaches the room temperature. So about like 10-15 minutes. So right now I'm going to beat about 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. So about like with 35% of fat. So let's do it then. So I'll beat it till stiff peak forms. I think that's good enough. So here you go. Stiff peaks. Now we'll take half of this cream mixture and mix it in the chocolate mixture, chocolate and gelatin mixture. So you can see it has turned into a smooth mixture now. Now we are slowly going to add the whipped cream into the chocolate mixture, and this time we are going to fold it just like that to give the volume to the mousse. And one very important trick is that when you are whipping the cream, the bowl should be chilled and the beater should be chilled too. The whipped cream is mixed with the chocolate mixture, and now I have the brownie. You can see the baked brownie. I have put it here, and I have made a collar with a wax paper. You can use parchment paper too, and if you have the acetate strips, those are the best. But if you don't have, you can use the aluminum foil too. If you just make it a little bit higher than your spring foam pan. So this is a spring foam pan which you can remove the bottom. So let's put the mousse in there. So with the help of the spatula, I'm going to spread the mousse. We'll put this in the fridge for 20 minutes to cool. So once this is cooling, we'll prepare the raspberry layer. The chocolate mousse is cooling on top of the brownie layer. So by the meantime, let's do the raspberry mousse. And once we take out the cake from the fridge, then we are going to add the raspberry mousse on top of it. So let me show you how. So with the raspberry mousse layer, we are not using any kind of chocolate, white chocolate or anything. This is another easier method which you can do. So I'm using 1/8 ounce of cream cheese block, and to that I'm going to add a very common thing, that is the condensed milk. So this is 1 can of condensed milk. This is about 14 ounce. There are some countries which has 12 ounce of condensed milk. That will work too. So what we are going to do, we have beat the condensed milk and the cream cheese together. So this is room temperature cream cheese. So the cream cheese and the condensed milk mixture is beaten up. It's done. To that I'm going to add about half a cup of raspberry puree. And we'll beat them together. Now in this I'm adding a little bit of raspberry extract to enhance the flavor. And we'll mix it again. Now we'll keep this aside and we'll whip the cream, which will mix with the cream cheese mix. So we have 1.5 cup of whipping cream here. Now we are going to whip it till stiff peaks form. So our whipped cream is done. You can see it's forming peaks. So at this point we are going to add the cream cheese mixture little by little. So first we are going to add half of it. Now the rest half, we're just going to fold it in the whipped cream and cream cheese mixture. So next we are going to add the gelatin mixture. Let me show you. Using 4 teaspoonful of gelatin powder and 4 tablespoons of water. So again the same thing, we are going to mix the water with the gelatin and let it bloom. So make sure there is no lump. So just mix it properly. We'll keep it for 1 minute and then we'll heat it in the microwave for 15 seconds until everything melts, and then we'll slowly add the gelatin mixture to the cream cheese whipped cream mixture. So once we have folded this, now we are going to take our cake out and put the top layer. We have put the raspberry filling in there, and then I'm done putting it in there, and then I'm going to level it off with a spatula. You can see done leveling. So we are going to put it in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes to set, and then I'll show you what to do next. And not the least is the ganache layer. So let me show you how to make the ganache. So to make the last layer, the chocolate ganache layer, I have 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use the chopped up chocolates too, and I have half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and again I have heated up just till it boils. As soon as you can see the bubbles on the edges, turn it off, and then you can we'll add it to the chocolate chip. So we'll keep it covered for 1 minute, then we'll mix it, and then we'll let it come to the room temperature, and then we'll put it on the top of the cake. 1 minute has passed and the chocolate has melted, you can see. Now I'm adding about 1 teaspoonful of light corn syrup. This is optional. This gives a little glaze to the chocolate ganache, and if you want you can add honey instead too. So we'll leave it like this for another 2 or 3 minutes till it comes to room temperature. Then we are going to pour it on top of the cake. So we have taken our cake out, which have been lying in the fridge for several hours. So now we are going to take the ganache. It has cooled to room temperature too, and slowly pour it on top of the cake. So we are done spreading, and then we are going to leave this in the fridge for again an hour or 2 until it sets, and then I'll show you how to decorate it. Our cake is out of the fridge, and we're going to see how it looks now. So I'm going to open the spring foam pan. So you can see how beautiful it looks. Let me get rid of this. So you can see I got rid of the paper, and this is how it looks. So you have the little brownie layer in the bottom, then you have the chocolate mousse layer, the raspberry mousse layer, and the chocolate ganache layer. So we're going to decorate it. Right now I have few berries, raspberries and blackberries. And in between I'm going to put some mint, some here. Now if you want, you can just a little bit dust a little bit of powdered sugar on top of the berries, just like that. Just a little bit. So here you go, your triple layer raspberry chocolate mousse cake. You have the perfect brownie layer in the bottom. You don't want it too big, just a little bit to give the support to the mousse. And you have the chocolate mousse, and then you have the raspberry mousse, and then you have the chocolate ganache, and perfect with the fresh berries and some mint. That's it. You have a fancy dessert. I know it takes a little bit longer time, but once you're done with it, you have seen that it's not that difficult, and you are ready with the dessert which comes from a fancy bakery. So I'm sure your friends and family is going to really appreciate when you make this for them. Don't forget to subscribe and like my YouTube channel, Simply Saffron by Pooja Seal, and press the bell icon so that you get all kind of notifications when I upload a video. And check out the description box too, because it will have all the ingredients list, and if anything you want to substitute, you might find it there. So see you next then. Bye.